Hey everyone, I'm Jean from Dongfang Hour. Today's video is different from the usual China space deep dive. I want to give you an update on myself and on the channel. If you're a regular viewer, you've likely noticed that the number of videos month after month has been decreasing over the past year. And I owe you an explanation, and especially to my patrons and all of those who have supported me over the years. The truth is, I've been finding it more and more difficult to make videos, and there are a variety of reasons for this. First of all, there are some changes going on in my life, which I hinted at during my previous video. And without going into the details of my personal life, it just means that I've been finding less and less time to dedicate to this hobby. And this is what Dongfang Hour has always been, a hobby, a passion project that I do alongside a full-time job. And this increasing lack of time has also compounded with the fact that just so much more is happening in the Chinese space sector. I remember when I started researching about the Chinese space sector 7 years ago. At the time, while the industry was by no means small, it is incomparable with what the industry looks like today in terms of the number of launches, the maturing of the commercial sector, the launch of the Chinese space station over the past couple of years, the dawn of Chinese mega constellations, and just the announcement of a more ambitious Mars and crewed lunar program. The list goes on. Honestly, it's amazing how the Chinese space sector has grown over the past couple of years. I remember in the early days, following Chinese space news implied just spending roughly an hour daily scrolling through Weibo, WeChat, and other Chinese sources. Today, this is significantly more if I want to go deep into the stories behind each piece of news. And I think this is a testimony to the growth of Chinese space. Finally, a third factor has made Dongfang Hour more challenging, and it's the production value that I now require for each video. Initially, Dongfang Hour was a simple weekly talking head video where Blaine Curcio and I would discuss the news highlights of the week. But since then, it's evolved into a more documentary style of videos, which is what I prefer to make, but which requires also so much more work in terms of scripting, editing, motion graphics, making 3D models and animations of spacecraft and rockets, and sound treatment. And although I've managed to outsource some of this, and I give a shout out to the people I've been working with, this channel remains essentially a one-man band, with each video requiring dozens and dozens and dozens of hours to be crafted. And finally, there may be one last reason for the slowing down of this channel, and that would be content creator fatigue. I've been doing this for over 5 years now, 5 years of researching, scripting, filming, editing, and then rinse and repeat. And while it's been a fantastic ride, it's also implied sacrifices on my part due to the free time invested. And remember that this is a passion project. But the thing is, I have many other areas of interest, such as astrophotography, aviation, urban history, playing the piano, and other things. And I've had to give some of that up. And while it was definitely worth it, I've had so much fun making Dongfang Hour videos, but after 5 years, it feels like I need a break in order to feel the energy and the desire to make these videos again. I think if I don't take a break, this channel will start feeling like an actual job, and that's just something I don't want it to become. I don't believe I want to become a full-time content creator, or at least not now. I must say it's a bit of a heart-wrenching decision, considering the massive events in the Chinese space sector that are due to take place in the coming 6 to 12 months. And this includes probably the first Chinese reusable rocket to perform a vertical landing successfully, the upcoming Chang'e 7 lunar mission, the acceleration of China's deployment of its mega constellations, the expansion of its space station, and just deeper involvement of commercial companies in China's human spaceflight program. Just so much is going on. And so in a nutshell, in the next couple of months at the very least, and maybe more, there likely won't be any new videos. But I don't believe this is goodbye. I think it's just bye for now because I need this. And finally, and this is important, I want to thank all of my patrons. You cannot imagine how encouraging it's been for a content creator to know that there are all of these people around the world that support you despite not knowing you in person. Some of you I've interacted with online and others actually met in real life, and I think that's one of the best parts of this YouTube journey. And so to my patrons, thank you so much, and I kindly suggest that you put your financial support on pause as I am not able to produce any content in return. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.